Hello everybody, Carole Garrison here with Carole's Creative Escape. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, have been working with Stampin' Up! For about 10 and a half, actually almost 11 years now. And appreciate you taking time to watch this video. I know everybody's schedule is busy, especially as we approach the holidays here. But I do appreciate you taking time to join me tonight. My goal is to simply spread joy one card at a time. And part of that is by giving away the cards that I make, but also by teaching other people how to make cards and be able to find their creativity as well through card making. So let me go ahead. I guess first of all, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving, that you were able to spend some time with family. I did go up north and spend time with my sister, which was nice. I'm just trying to find me here on my Facebook Live. There I am, just so I can make sure I'm in the right place. Anyhow, was able to go spend time with my sister and her family. We had, I don't know, roughly 16, 17 people with us. So excuse me, that was very nice to be able to join the group. And then pretty much took it easy the rest of the weekend, but that was okay. We got some Christmas shopping done, got some lights hung up, and just kind of made it through the weekend, I guess. So what I'd like to do tonight is share with you a gift card holder. But again, I want to show you that it's a very versatile gift card holder. I've got a couple examples to share with you. And then with the holidays coming up, of course, I'm going to make a Christmas gift card holder that you are going to be easily able to duplicate. It doesn't require a huge amount of cardstock, nor does it require a lot of designer series paper. So let's go ahead and get started here. And I will flip my camera over here, so just excuse my up close hand and sealing for a moment while I get things situated. And as you can tell, I'm still struggling a little bit with my cold, but actually feeling a whole lot better than I have in a while. So I'm kind of hoping that I may be getting over this. It's been a long haul on this one, and kind of sick of being sick. So let's just get going here. So I do want to direct your attention to a couple of things. We are nearing the end of the September to December mini catalog, and so there has been information posted on the Stampin' Up! Website regarding products that are retiring as a result of this mini catalog coming to end. And there will be a new mini catalog as well as celebration coming up. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about that right now, but if you're curious, you can kind of go out and look, and then make sure that you take advantage of knowing ahead of time which sets aren't going to be available anymore, so that you can go ahead and place an order. I'm kind of sad because that very cute Christmas suite of products with the polar bear and the punch will be retiring. Sometimes I sell off my retired product, and sometimes I keep it, and I believe that that's going to be one of the things that I keep, because of course I'm from White Bear, so I have to keep the polar bear, right? So let me go ahead and show you this gift card holder that I made. This is very simple, basic, but it's one of those that you can produce pretty quickly. And to me, this is kind of a masculine card. It features a pretty peacock. And then this is the back side of one of the All About Autumn papers. And I'm just simply saying, hope your day is a happy one. And when you open it up, you can make a little statement inside here. And you just slide the gift card right into that. And you can write a little note and you're good to go. To me, this is kind of a masculine type card, but it could also go to a woman if you needed something like that too. So I don't think it's limited, but it is kind of versatile in that you can create that. This card, I haven't really defined an occasion that it's for. Excuse me. It is featuring the 6x6 designer series paper that's in the annual catalog, and honestly I can't remember what it's called, but let me look it up real quick. It is the paper I can never find, the Bright and Beautiful designer series paper, and I like it. I thought this could be a good like baby shower card. And then I had to bring in, this is a stamp set I haven't shared with you yet. It's an online exclusive, and it's called the Fluffiest Bundle. And of course I had to do the little kitty because, well, I like cats. Maybe you don't know that about me yet or not. If you've watched my videos, you probably already have that part figured out. And I just used my blends to create a little calico cat and decorated the pot so it kind of matched this paper. So I think this could be a birthday card, a thank you card. It could become a congratulations card if there's a baby shower or something like that. And instead of using the same two designs of paper like I did on this card, I actually just used the reverse of this dotted paper, which happened to be kind of an ombre effect, and created this card. Now, one of the things that you'll notice is the card tends to stay open and doesn't close down. On the back side of the circle, I do have a second dimensional. And once I have my gift card in here and I was ready to send it, I'm just going to peel the back off that dimensional, and that'll hold my card closed. So look for a future video with this Fluffiest Friends. It does, like I said, it is an online exclusive, and it does come with coordinating dies. I think we're going to have a little bit of fun with this one. I just like the little animal characters that are on here. So let's see what I can come up with at some other point. Right now, we're talking Christmas. So I am going to use the Brightest Glow stamp set. And this is one that was a carryover from last year. And I do like the sentiments in this, just because of the variety, and I like the font. And so I have used these a lot between last year and this year, and it will be one that's featured in my Christmas cards, which I am determined to finish making and actually get in the mail this year. Yep, you heard it here. And then the designer series paper that I'm using tonight is from A Walk in the Forest, and that is part of the designer series paper set that helps to raise funds, and it's part of the Making a Difference campaign that Stampin' Up does. So $3 of every packet of this paper that gets ordered is used to support organizations that are dedicated to spreading cheer and providing support to those in need. So not only are you getting some real pretty paper, which also coordinates with that very cute punch, the polar bear punch that I talked about, but you get a good variety of paper that can be used now, and it can be used after the holidays if you just flip it over to the other side. So a lot of value in that paper, I think. So let me go ahead and give you the measurements. Like I said, they're pretty straightforward. You need a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock, and you will score this at 2 3/4 and 6 3/4. And then you need a piece of basic white cardstock, and I played with the size on this. This one is actually 3 1/4 by 4 3/4, so it will lay kind of centered in this section. I did one that was a little bit bigger, and then on this piece, it actually is your standard 4 by 5 1/4. Anything works, as long as it's a little bit smaller than the base card. So you can do as little or as much writing as you want to do and change the size of this as much as you want. And then you need a piece of designer series paper that measures 5 1/4 by 2.5 inches, and one that measures 5 1/4 by 1 inch. They don't need to be a continuous cut, but I think if that is how things work, I don't know if I did that. Yeah, I didn't do that. These aren't coming from the same spot. Not quite sure why. Well, I guess they are. Right here it lines up. They don't have to because the papers themselves may not line up, but we'll see what I can do when I go to put it together. And then I am using a square shape on this one in the real red with a piece of basic white to put in the center of it. And then I will be decorating it using some of the silver and white sheer ribbon that we have available. And I think that's all you need to know. So let's go ahead and start assembling the card. I am going to do some stamping first so that the ink has a chance to dry. And on this card, I'm kind of putting the sentiment a little bit on the outside and then the main greeting on the inside. Kind of opposite, but honestly, it's how it fits the paper that I have, and so that's what I'm choosing to use. So we'll go ahead and use some real red ink, and I'm just going to stamp it here on this piece of basic white cardstock and hope that I get it straight and fairly well centered. and I can live with that. Whoops. And that's how you get ink on your fingers. Let's set that piece aside. And then I'm just going to put Merry Christmas on the inside. And if you remember on this one, only the top half shows. So when I stamp this, I want to make sure I'm going right up towards the top and centered. And that way that Merry Christmas is going to show. That's a little crooked, and I don't know if I can live with that. Good thing I have a backside here I can work with. Okay. Glad it worked the second time, otherwise I'd have to cut more paper. Now let me go ahead and get my Simply Chamois here so I can clean off my stamps, because otherwise I am going to have red ink on everything, and we don't want that to happen. And you'll notice that this is quite dirty, but it still cleans everything with just a wipe. It's stained, and when I rinse it out, it's going to run off whatever colors I've used. It usually turns an ugly color as you get more into the rinsing, but it's perfectly fine to look that way, and it's still extremely usable, so don't fret if yours looks like that. On occasion, I will throw my Simply Chamois right into my washing machine. Usually I just do it on a quick cycle without any other laundry in there, because I don't want to risk two things. I don't want to risk getting ink on a bunch of stuff, but also I don't want to risk getting lint and stuff like that on it, because that could impact how well it cleans stuff, or it could leave lint on my stamps, and I don't want that. So now I'm going to take my cardstock that I've scored, and I'm just going to burnish it along these two score lines. And I do want a pretty crisp score, so I'm going to flip it over and just do the back. You'll see I've already stamped it with a copyright, Stampin' Up! Copyright, and that's because I do sell my cards and want to make sure that I am following the Angel policy, which includes putting that logo on there. And that really applies to anyone, whether you're a demonstrator or not. So just be aware of that. And I am going to, I've got the papers lined up, so if I put them in like this, they will be lined up. Again, I don't think it's going to make a big difference, but at least it's out there. So let me grab my adhesive. We've had a really, really nice fall here. For those of you not watching from Minnesota, it's been very pleasant, in the 50s, maybe in the 40s. Gets a little cooler at night, but it really hasn't been a bad fall for us. And the cold weather hit. This was going to potentially be one of our first Novembers in, I don't even remember how long, but almost like forever, where we didn't get any snow, but we did end up getting just a coating of snow. I think it was Friday morning, maybe. I don't remember for sure. But so that took care of not getting that record, but it also got cold when Thanksgiving Day, the day after Thanksgiving, it started to get chilly. So now we're into more typical temperatures. We just got to get used to it again. We've been pretty spoiled. And then I'm just simply going to layer my square, and you can use any shape that you want on the front. I went, this one is a little bit smaller than what I used on this one. This is just a 2-inch and the 1 3/4 inch circle punches, and then this is the largest circle die from the stitch die set that we have. And then here I've got the 2 squares going. I think slightly bigger works in terms of holding the card closed, but again, once I peel the backing off that dimensional, it's going to stay closed just fine. So it kind of depends on what you want to be your focal point. In this, I think it's more subtle with the paper, whereas this, I really wanted that cat to stand out. And again, I want my sentiment to be a part of this card. So, you know, you can figure out how big you want that. Sometimes it's actually your sentiment that determines that. So just adjust your layers accordingly. And then, like I said, I'm going to just kind of center this in here. And that still allows my sentiment to go, and I can write, to show up, and I can write just a quick little note in there to close this off, I'm going to use the fabulous tear and tape. If you've watched any of my videos, you do know that I like to use this when I am doing anything that is going to involve movement, whether it's pulling out a gift card like this gift card holder is going to do, or perhaps I'm working with a card with moving parts. I just think this tape really holds things in place, so I've just put a strip on either side and I'm going to close it. And then the next thing that I need to do is attach my sentiment to the front of the card. But I'm rather than just do a bow with this ribbon, I'm thinking I'm going to just wrap a piece around and tie a knot just to add a little bit of different look to the card. And so to do that, I'm just pulling it right off my spool. I'm not even measuring it. I'm not going to try to tie a fancy bow. I'm just going to go with fancy knot because that works for me. This is such pretty ribbon. It kind of speaks for itself with the card, and we don't really have to worry a whole lot about it. So we'll just trim off the edges, and I'm going to twist a little bit to see if I can get this tail to lay a slightly different direction. And it looks like it doesn't want to do that. This has kind of a wiry feel to it, especially with that silver strip on the outside of the ribbon. I'm going to see if I can just retie it. Sometimes I get my knot so tight I can't, and other times I am able to. So again, let's see if we can make this work a little better. Oh, I think that's a little bit better. I frayed this end a titch when I was working with it, so we'll go ahead and trim off a little bit more, and it's going back to being crooked, so we're going to leave it crooked because that seems to be how it wants to go. What I may do then is just scooch it over a little bit because I don't have it adhered down. I can play with it a little bit, and then I am going to again center this, so let's drop this down just a little bit, and we'll put this on here with the ribbon. It's just not cooperating with me a whole lot. I'm going to scooch it over just a little further. Now, one of the things that I'm going to do is, even though this is kind of white in the base, I'm still going to use my black dimensionals because it's kind of going against a darker surface. And so my hope is that it just doesn't show up a whole lot. And so I'm only going to put my dimensionals along the top for right now. And I'm going to go ahead and put 3 since this is a bigger square. But again, I forget about my black dimensionals, and I've now got them sitting out on my desk to help me remember. I think anytime we're working with slightly darker colors, it can hide them just a little bit more. Oh, the back doesn't want to come off of that one. So one trick, which hopefully will work for us on this one when it gets stuck, is I'll take one of my styluses and just kind of poke it, and hopefully that'll loosen things, but this one seems to be really stuck. My fear is I might take the backing off too as I'm pulling it. Worst case, I will pull the whole thing off and start over. Yep, we're just going to do that because it doesn't want to come off. I don't usually have that problem. All right, we'll attach that right there. Nobody will ever know, and voila, the back is pulled off. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and put this on here, kind of centering it, left, right, top, bottom, and it should help hold that ribbon down as well. And then to seal this off, and the reason I held off putting anything here is I wanted to see where it fell first. I didn't do that the first time I made this one, and it did cause some problems when I went to close it. I had to make an adjustment. So we're just going to pull out another dimensional, and I'm only going to use one here. And that way I can put it and it will not show. And it'll hold our card closed when we're all done. So that's what it looks like from the inside. I kind of like that we've got a little bit of decoration here. And again, then your gift card can just slide right in there and your sentiment will still show as well. So this is a quick and easy card. Like I said, it can use up some of the bits and pieces of your designer series paper that you may have. And you can really let your sentiment be the focal point of your card. Looks like I got a little bit of adhesive, so let me get rid of that. Okay, and these, this is just kind of a little gum eraser that helps remove adhesives. We used to sell these at Stampin' Up, but we don't anymore. You can get them at any other kind of craft supply store if you are interested, but it's great for just lifting up adhesive that may hit your work so that it doesn't get ruined. So real quick, here are a couple cards, and I hope that you are inspired to try this card and use it as a gift holder, whether it's for graduation, a birthday, baby shower, or a thank you card even. Quick and easy. Measurements again are 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 2 3/4 and 6 3/4. Then this piece can go anywhere from 3 1/4 high to 4 3/4 wide to your standard 4 by 5 1/4. Your designer series paper is 5 1/4 by 1 inch and 5 1/4 by 2.5 inches. And you can use whatever size scraps you need for your sentiment or your focal point on your card. Embellish it as much or as little as you want with ribbons or other forms of embellishment, and you are ready to go. Easy to mass produce, pretty fast to make. So if you do decide to make this card, I would love it if you'd post a picture of your card in the comments down below. I believe that we inspire each other with our creativity, and that if somebody decides they really like your card and want to create one using your ideas, what better form of flattery could you ask for? And sometimes it's just seeing the idea, the color combinations, and then people can go away with their own. So again, if you are inspired to make this card, feel free to post it in the comments below. Otherwise, we will see everybody next week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.